day 7:45 being Christopher Cruise. So I had my call with Araceli, which was amazing. And yeah, I got off of that call with her. And then I go inside, and my roommate's like, hey, can we talk? I was like, sure. So I went, and I usually I would just stand there while she like sits at the table, because I'm like not really, I got things to do, so I'm kind of in a hurry. And I was like, no, give her your attention, like sit down. So sat down across from her, and she starts talking to me. She's got tears in her eyes, and she's like, I'm just really worried. I'm just really stressed. Like, are you going to be able to pay rent next month? Like, I don't want to lose this place. I don't want to get, kicked out. Like, I'm getting ready to go to Australia for a month, and I don't want to be worried that you're not going to be able to pay your part of the rent and we lose the place while I'm over there. And she's like, I don't want to even think about it, but I've been thinking, like, if you can't pay rent, I have to find someone else who can come in and take your spot. And she's saying all that. She's like, I don't want to do that. Like, you're my family. Like, I love you. But I'm so worried and scared and nervous. And, I can't lose this place, because what am I going to do? And, just a lot of fear. And I had just gotten off this call with Araceli, and my confidence is peak level. Like, so it's interesting. When you feel good about yourself, there's nothing that anyone can say that can really throw you off. Like, if had she said that, like, I don't want to, but if I have to start looking for someone to take your place, like, I would have been so offended. I would have been so like, are you fucking serious? Are you out of your mind? Like, but I feel like the more confident you are in yourself, the more compassionate you are, and you're able to get in the other person's world. So she's talking, she's got tears in her eyes, and she's just scared, she's scared. And she's like, I've seen you, go through this program and do all this stuff, and I'm just worried. And so I let her talk, and I was like, no, I totally understand. Like, I totally get it. And, you've seen this and you've seen that. And, I get it. And I know what you're worried about. You're worried about the results. And she's like, I've seen you perform. Like, she saw me speak on stage for the first time. And she's been in my coaching program. Like, she knows I can be a total badass. And she's like, I know that's there. I just haven't seen it, because this internship. And, I explained to her the internship and what it led to and all of this stuff. And she's like, can we have a deadline? Like, I just want to know that I don't have to worry, and I could have been like, well, why are you worrying? You shouldn't worry. What's that about you? And I was like, no, I don't need to do that. She has every right to be worried. And so I just had to assure her, like, I know you're worried and you have every right to be. I'm so sorry that I put you in the position that I put you in, where you had to loan me $1,000 last minute. Like, I'm so embarrassed and ashamed about that. And I'm going to pay you back. And like, just took full responsibility for it, and just understood, like, yeah, you have every right to be worried. You should be worried, and that's okay. And then I just was like, but I got this. Like, I've never had this much clarity in my business before. I've never felt this good. I've never felt more in alignment with God. Like, magic is going to happen. It's on its way. And I haven't been able to fully go all in on this business since it's been created, because it just got finalized. God just clarified what is Warriors of God. Who do I help? Who do I serve? How do I serve them? All of these things. So I was like, I had so much certainty and so much confidence. Like, no, this is going to work out. And you don't have to worry. Like, what you don't see is that, what you see is that I'm in my room all day. But what you don't see is that's a freaking war room. Like, I'm writing all over the freaking wall on the whiteboard, and I'm taking notes, and I'm watching videos. I'm doing all this. Like, you don't even have to worry. And she was like, no, you do feel like you've got your fire relit. Like, and I'm like, the fire that I have, I've never had this fire before. This is a new fire because I'm a new person. And I was just so reassuring, and just, it was crazy. Like, I'm never that reassuring or that responsible for my impact and my actions. Like, I try as hard as I can, but I'm never that much that. But yeah, it was so helpful. And I know she felt so good after the conversation, because I had so much certainty and so much confidence. Like I got this. And you have every right to be scared, but you don't need to be scared. And don't listen to my words, just watch the results. because the results will speak for themselves. I am working on some amazing things right now. I'm committed. I'm all in. I've got 24 hours a day. I don't have to go to church 40 to 50 hours a week. Like, I get to go all in on my business. Like, the money's going to show up. Like, the money's not just going to appear out of nowhere. I'm going to create the money. I'm going to attract the money because I'm going to work my butt off, and I'm going to get people to pay me for what I do, because what I do is freaking amazing. So it was actually a really good conversation. And the best thing for me was for me to be able to sit there absolutely certain, absolutely confident that none of her fears would come into fruition. None of her fears would become a reality. I was so confident and so certain of that. And so I was able to just really listen to her and hear her and not have any offense towards me whatsoever, really get in her world and help her understand, like, no, I got this. And I assured her, like, if you start feeling anxious or scared or nervous, just talk to me. Let's have some serious communication with this over the next few weeks. And so, yeah, it was really powerful. Who I was being was really powerful, because that could have been a horrible conversation. That could have been a nightmare of a conversation. And if it would have happened yesterday morning, it probably wouldn't have gone so well. But today has been just incredible. I started with that motivational video where it's like, go all in, burn the freaking boats, like, make a decision, start small, dream big, start small, take action now. Dream big, start small, act now. And that just set the tone. And then the conversation that I had with Araceli was super powerful. And then I'm learning all this stuff, and then I have the conversation with her. And then I do this call with these believers from the seminar I went to. And it's just like, wow, God is just revealing more and more and more of who I am and what he has planned for me. It's so freaking inspiring. And to know that I can feel this good with $0 in my bank account is absolutely unreal. And I know it's temporary. Within the next 365 days, I will do $1 million challenge, without a doubt. Doesn't mean I'll make $1 million in a year. I'll make significantly more than that, because I'm gonna do a lot of challenges. But I will do at least one challenge this year that generates $1 million in revenue. Hands down, without a doubt. I'm gonna master these. And they're just designed so perfectly for me. And I know that doing these challenges and master these challenges and putting my brand out there as being known as the purpose guy for believers, I will land stages. There'll be stages that reach out to me. Hey, I saw your challenge, or I was part of your challenge, or I heard about this, I heard about that, and I checked you out. Like, we'd love to have you come speak at this giant conference we're doing that has 2,000 people. And then I'll be able to go there, and I'll be able to offer the 6-week Find Your Purpose coaching program, and sign people up and build warriors of God, and have the weekly meetings and the monthly membership fees and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. And I say this with absolute certainty, not like I hope, not like I dream, but like I will. Because I know God has greatness in my destiny. I know he has abundance in my destiny. Like, and $1 million is nothing for God. And it's going to be nothing for me when I do it. It's going to be like, I just poured out my heart and soul to these people. I served them at the highest level, and 1,000 people said yes. And that's it. I am not going to stop these challenges until I make enough money to take care of my family. And then I probably still won't stop. But it's time for me to step up and step into my purpose and my destiny and my potential. More than anything, my potential. And what I just saw, that experience with talking to those two people, it was like, man, if I do that with a group of 1,000 people, half of them are going to sign up for whatever it is I got, because I lit a fire in their soul. I inspired them. Inspiring is my number 2 gift, and to inspire someone means to breathe life into them. And on that call, I was breathing life into them. So, yeah. $1 million challenge in 365 days. I might do it in 6 months. Who knows? It's up to God. Anything's possible with God. And like she said, if God called you to do it, it will blow up. And it is so clear that he is calling me to do it. And it's actually so exciting, because although I'm not doing it standing in front of people on a stage, there's other aspects to this that I don't get on a stage. I can interact. I can build a community. I have as much time as I want to speak about it. I can teach whatever I want. It's my thing. It's my brand. Like, there's so much goodness in that. I get to lead. I get to create a tribe. And so there's so many amazing aspects to the challenge that are really powerful. And so even though I'm not going to be doing it in person, that will lead to in-person speaking. But this is actually so much better because I could do a challenge every 2 weeks if I want. Versus speaking on stage, like that might be once a month. That might be, once every 3 months, depending on the event. But what's cool now is because I searched for these events is now Instagram, all my Instagram ads on my stories are all for Christian events, conferences, seminars, and I'm like, perfect. Each one of those are places I can reach out to. But yeah, this next 365 days is going to be significant. I will run $1 million challenge with the help of God, and I will become known as the purpose guy for believers. There's no one in the world that can speak about purpose the way I do, with as much fire and passion and authenticity and certainty and with God behind it. Like, doesn't exist. So I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. A few stars in the sky. Wow. How freaking inspiring. See, this is why you got to find your purpose and have the courage to live into it, because it is a freaking roller coaster, but it is the most amazing ride of your life. I can't imagine anything better. Like, it's so perfect for me. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. It's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. It's the most exciting thing I've ever done. It's the most terrifying thing I've ever done. It is like when you find your purpose and you start living into it, you are truly living. You go from existing to living. You go from black and white to full freaking 4K color. And it's crazy. Whew. But man, do you grow. Holy crap, do you grow. And I'm so glad I have it documented so people can actually see, like, man, he's changed a lot. He's grown a lot. So, yeah.